Okay, welcome. Good morning, and yes, once again, welcome to my Facebook live stream between Monday to Friday, 11 to 11:30 a.m. GMT London time. My name is Jimmy Cheng. I'm a professional photographer, filmmaker, and an Olympus ambassador. So if you're new here, this live stream is all about photography, filmmaking, and of course, Micro Four Thirds gears, and especially for Olympus. So if you are a fan or enthusiastic about photography and filmmaking, this is the right place for you. But we have a different subject to talk about every single day. You could variety of things that you may get inspired to, hopefully. So usually I will have some sort of structure to follow everything, so we don't just randomly pick a subject or something like that. So you just have to stay tuned for my announcement at the end of each day, and usually I would basically put a note up saying that what I'm going to talk about for the next day or so. So let's just give you some idea what we usually do. So this is the structure we usually use, and good morning, Brad. Good morning. Hear you loud and clear. Excellent. That's what I want to hear. So this is a live stream, so of course nothing's rehearsed. I didn't pre-record this video, and so anything could happen. Like I mentioned, it's live. So if you can't hear me, if you cannot see me, please do let me know. And sometimes it could be a software issue. So just to give you an example, these comment that you're writing right now, I may not be able to see them instantly, so to speak. I'll probably have about 15 to 20-second delay between the right time and showing up on my streaming software, because I'm not actually streaming directly on my web browser, so I don't see anything live as such. So just please do bear with me. So if you do see some faults or something like that, like music is too loud, or if you cannot hear my voices and maybe the picture's going a little bit fuzzy, let me know. Okay, so this is the structure I'm going to follow. So usually I will do a general update about myself and my family, because my live stream is public, so anybody can see this. I also would like to use this opportunity to give my friends and family around the world to just to say that we're okay, we're doing fine in London. So it's a good thing to say, because we can't travel to see them these days, and it's really difficult. I know we have FaceTime and stuff like that, but a lot of my relatives and friends are living abroad. They're not in the UK, and obviously we have time zone difference, so I can only do this in the morning. So just if they do check my Facebook profile, they see this video and they click on it, they see it, and they know that we're okay. So this is why I'm doing that general update thing. But also I would like to use this opportunity maybe to give you some idea what my upcoming project is, and also maybe what sort of thing I'm doing on my YouTube channel. Yes, I do have a YouTube channel which happens on Wednesday and Sunday usually, but because of the coronavirus, the lockdown issues, I'm not producing my regular episodes, so I'm only doing live stream every Wednesday between 3 to 3:45 or 4:30. Sometimes I get dragged on quite a bit, and so my Wednesday live stream on my YouTube channel, Red35 Photography, everything is in the description. You can click onto the link to see my channels. So we do have a subject of the day, or topic of the day, and today we're going to talk about digital photos, how safe it is, about your photos. You put up online, you posting on Facebook, on Flickrs, and you name it, 500px, in all the other places that you would like to showcase your hard work. And of course, we have a Q&A right at the end, but no, when I say right at the end, it's usually, it can be random. So it could be, you can ask me anytime you want, and it's just live. Like now, I have a phone call coming up from my wife. It can be very loud here, especially I've got young kids as well lying around. So okay, so let's get on with it. So I'm gonna just keep this particular thing here, so we know exactly what we're going to talk about. So how safe exactly is your photo? I know most of photographers in the entire world, I'm talking about all the photographers out there, they would use the internet as the primary medium for them to showcase their work. Not like the old days now. You don't need to have a studio. You don't need to have a window to show your pictures, because the internet is your window. Especially if if you're very active socially. Let's say you have basically an account for every single platform that you can imagine, like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, the Flickr, 500px, all the other things that you can think of. If you have them all, and that means that most likely you post everything everywhere. And frankly, even though I'm a professional and I only focus on a couple of platforms only, because just maintaining and updating every single one of these platforms is a nightmare. Especially some group of, well, I would say that certain platforms are more popular for a certain age group or certain type of people, for instance. So you cannot appeal to everybody because it's just too vast. The internet is just too big for you to satisfy. And so I instead of like I'm like posting for every single platform that is available out there, I only focus on the certain platforms and then just be done with it, because I do have a lot of messages coming in and I'm trying to respond them personally as much as I can, but sometimes it just gets just a little bit too much, and then it's just going to be really, really difficult. Good afternoon, Barada. Good morning. And so this is what I'm trying to say. There are a lot of platforms out there now, but when you're posting photos, then have you ever thought about, your photos would be stolen or being copied and used somewhere else? I personally experienced it twice, not so much in terms of they are particularly great photos or anything. They just steal anything, to be honest. If they think it's appropriate, they nick it. And they're actually less likely to actually take something that is very famous, because they're recognizable. So usually they steal something that are not the high-profile photos that everybody recognizes, or prize-winning photos. So like none of my great photos are being stolen. They stole my really like kind of at the back end of the stuff, but still I post it online sometime, and then just to show some candid moment, for instance, for weddings and such. But people are taking these photos and reuse them for other purposes. So let's give me my example. And I actually couldn't dig up that photo now, and it's really funny because I took one of these Chinese couple photo getting married in London, and they were still in their traditional Chinese wedding dress and everything like this. So it's all set up. So I took obviously it's a wedding, so I took a series of photos. I posted a couple of them online, and then without my knowledge, without my permission, of course, my photo was stolen. But I actually did not know that. I didn't know that until my friend went to Malaysia, and they actually went to a zoo. Yeah, sounds funny, right? In this wedding photo, zoo. But listen, and he went to the zoo, and then they actually have an exhibition there, like a wedding fair kind of. And then so like they actually saw my photo as the entrance sign. And then he actually recognized photos. So he instantly Facebooked me, said that, I think I saw your photos in Malaysia. I mean, have you, are you actually in the wedding fair? I said, no, I'm still in London. So how would I be in Malaysia? And so, no, this looked like your photo. And then he actually sent me the photo live, just sent me the photo straight away. And then I actually do recognize straight away, oh, that's my photo. I have no idea why that photo was being used for a signpost in a wedding fair in Malaysia. So this is really something, I'm letting you know, like they could just take it. I'd like to give you another example, for instance, and this is something I read last month when Peter Pixel website showing this. I'm going to just share the screen with you guys because it's really interesting. So there you go. So in here, you can see that this particular website have this post saying the island's most loved wedding photographer is stealing my work. That's the title of the thing. So what it is, there is a guy called, this is their website, yeah, and then so these are the photos, for instance. So I'm just telling this guy here, Darak Mu, I'm just trying to read up his name at the moment. Actually, my screen's blocking up, sorry. Dara Modun, he set up this website, and it's actually quite a decent looking website, I have to say, and to supposedly advertise himself, I guess, but in this entire website, every single photo that you see in here are stolen from somebody else's work, and which is absolutely amazing. You can actually continue to read up. I'm going to post a link in the description. You can go and read it up, and it's just nuts. And every single thing in here, all the candid photos and everything that you see here, is completely stolen, from other photographers. Not just one, but a multiple photographers. So he was obviously doing some sort of digital culling, like around the world, trying to find the right content for his website. Even though that he claimed himself to be a photographer, he has a photography business in Ireland, and he's the most loved photographer, and that's kind of like the slogan that he was going for. He's absolutely going for the full force, which is, I really just cannot imagine how this would become, but of course, at some point, people will recognize works and starting to go back to the original photographers who created these works, and that's how it was discovered. So, of course, if you go back to the beginning of the website, you can actually see that I'm just going to shrink it down a little bit, and you will see Brad is one of the photographers there. That he realized that his work's been stolen, and subsequently he also recognized other people's work that he personally know, and he contacted other photographers, and slowly it became a snowball, and found out this exact website is a clone, a replica of a collection of photographs, and from primarily in the States, but around the world, which is amazing. I would not know or would not understand why people would go to that extent to actually steal people's work and do it like that. And he later on, once it's discovered, he was contacted, and he was saying that I'm a student, I'm doing a research on this photograph websites and marketing, how things works and things like that. I don't think that's an excuse, and but you have a read about it. It just unbelievable, the way he actually do his website. I have to say he's done a really grand job of for the website. The actual appearance, the layout, and everything is fantastic, But frankly, if you're that good at it, why don't you spend some more time taking photographs, and rather than making your website look so professional without actually having the work done. Oh, actually, maybe somebody else did his website as well. But anyway, so this is a one example, and then and I want to show you another example as well. Just let me just go to another tab. So I don't know if you remember this. There is some time ago now. This is 2013, and I remember reading on BBC News that one of the photographer bird photo got stolen. This particular bird photo got stolen and made into a stamp in Malaysia once again. So it seems like there's a thing going on in Malaysia about stealing people's work. I'm not trying to be discriminative or saying anything about Malaysians. I love Malaysian people because I have lots of Malaysian friends. I love Malaysia. I've been there a few times, but that's another example but this time is the government. Of course, they made it into STEM, and this is another thing. I'll just show you the STEM. Yeah, so this is the 2014 STEM, and you can clearly see that that one in the middle here, the green bird, is basically that same photo of this bird here. Is exactly clone. And obviously they did a little bit of photoshopping, cropping, and also the color tone. It was slightly changed, but it's exactly this particular photo. So what is your view about this? And if your photo suddenly got stolen and be used something else, of course, high profile things stamp like this, and then is totally different. Once you recognize it, you contact the authorities. They usually will come back, say sorry, and probably give you compensation. And then and that's what he did. I think I remember BBC News actually said that he actually got about 100 grand, I think, from the government for copyright. That's how I remember the actual news itself. But it's hard, you can come across your work accidentally. Like I did, I never would know that one of my photos became a wedding fair entrance poster. I never knew that. It's just by chance a lot of the case, because the world is so big, and you can't possibly track and trace every single one of your photos. Especially the longer you're in the industry, the longer you became a photographer, the more photos you posted online, and less chances you're going to see or track every single one of them. It's impossible. So I don't know about your views on it. I think most of the time I would just kind of let it go. Unless it's something that is really like being made into a STEM, that's very different. But of course you don't like people using your work without your knowledge, without your permission. But in a lot of the cases, I would just let it go if people use it, as long as it doesn't harm anybody. But what I also found as well, that was, I think, 2 years ago now, and I did find, I think it's still happening on Facebook, so you have to be careful. I saw another guy or woman, I don't know, because it's obviously it can be a disguise on the internet. You just don't know their sex or who they are, how old they are, things like that. They completely fake profile. But anyway, someone created a new profile on Facebook, and he or she nicked a bunch of my photos, not just myself, like my photo, but my face, my family photo. I don't know how, well, you can actually just basically you can right click onto the photo and say download photos. So you can actually do that. So that he nicked a whole bunch of my photo, create a new profile of me, but not he wasn't called Jimmy Cheng, it was called something else, but it was me in it. And it's weird that how Facebook, how I came to learn about it, because Facebook actually recommended that profile, saying I may know this guy. So I have no idea. And I know Facebook do this auto facial recognition thing, because if you have your profile recognized, and usually it would try to see automatically tag yourself into the photo or your friend's photos, put your name next to it. So I guess that's probably why they see a similar face and trying to recognize and also recommend me through that process. But that is weird, right? Like I found out this guy's profile with me in it, and then Facebook recommended me to add this as a friend. And so I click on it. Look, I actually messaged this guy, say, look, I'm trying to do anything horrible, but you are using all my photos, my profile, my family, everything. Like you really got to stop it. I also did report to Facebook about infringement of privacy and also copyright. He did apologize, and he did remove all the photos. But he put some other photos on. I don't know whether those photos actually genuinely belong to him or her, or maybe somebody else's. So it is a weird place about the internet now. How can you protect your photograph? It's really difficult, because in the internet, even if you put on a lot of watermarks on your photo, there are softwares out there that can remove watermarks for you, and also there are if you put in some sort of very difficult layering in terms of web coding, you may not be able to steal the photo by right-clicking, say download, but you can still do a screenshot. Even if screenshot doesn't work, you can still take a photo using your mobile phone or other setup, and then you manipulate it a little bit on Photoshop, you make it look genuine again, and repost it. So there is no way you can actually avoid people stealing your photos. It's heartbreaking, but then, like I said, if they want to steal it, they will steal it one way or the other. You can't really avoid it, but as long as they're not really harming people or harming your family, I usually let it go, or anything that may affect me financially. Like let's say the photo that could be used for stolen, a high quality photo, then I would basically go up and talk to them. Anyway, so what's your view about this, Burana? How did you do when your photos got stolen? Frankly, I did not do much. Like I mentioned, they used my photo as an entrance poster, and they wasn't selling my photo. So I did think initially going to talk to them, but I doubted they're going to do anything. They would just say, "Oh, sorry, I'm going to take it down." That may be what the most they would do. So I don't think they would actually give me any money, to be quite honest. And because it's two different countries, I just cannot be bothered fighting, in different countries, and so it's impossible to do that, and it's just waste of resources and my time. So I just didn't bother, to be honest, at the end of the day. But like I mentioned, on Facebook, the fake profile, I did contact that person. I just messaged them, and him or her. So they did, he or she did apologize, and eventually remove everything that he or she posted about me and my family. So that was good. So that was completely clean. And so I don't know, and I never checked back on that person whether he or she still exists and in terms of the profile, or whether they continue to do things. But I did report to Facebook about they taking the work, and so they do have a policy in Facebook if you report them. But overall, these things can continue to happen, because I know a lot of my friends' profile got stolen. They actually call something else, but using everything that he or she posted, and this happened regularly and very common on Facebook. This called, identity theft. This is quite a common thing, right? Okay, so this is something that I want to talk about today. Is about your safety, because I know many of you may not be keen to learn a little bit about these things, but depending on how often you post your photos and how popular you are, and people will somehow get hold of these things and start to manipulate them and create another identity out of it. So it's very common, and unless you are very I would say, be careful about your work, and it's I would say just let it go most of the time. Whew, okay, anyway, and got a little bit too loud. And yeah, that's what you had watched Tony's video once about this stolen photo. Oh yeah, I remember he posted a YouTube video talking about stolen photo. That one of his photos got stolen, and I don't think I never watched the whole thing. And don't get me wrong, Tony and Chelsea are cool people, and I'm just not really keen on watching a lot of their videos, and it's too much sales oriented. But okay, never mind. So this is the stuff that I want to talk about your safety, or the photo safety. You can do a lot of things, metadata and stuff like that. You can do all sorts of things to try to help to maintain the copyright of your photograph. But ultimately, your photo may end up in a third world country becoming a popular photo. You just never ever know unless you know somebody in that country and seen your photo as well. It's just going to be hard work. Good morning, David. And yeah, so by all means, try as much as you can, but don't worry too much about it. I know it can be a long process, just like, a lot of people did talk about, protecting your house from from being burgled and stuff like that. I think personally, if a thief wants to get into your house, no matter how much you protect it, they will still get in. And then you can have deterrent devices and things like the alarm, like gates and stuff like installed. But if they really want to get in, they will get in, no matter how secure you want to be. So this is kind of like an analogy I want to try to use. And like similarly in photography, if your work's being displayed digitally online, they can still steal it. Even if you have a physical print, people can still steal it, knock on the window and just took the whole thing out. You say they want to steal it, and I think that they will. Goodbye, Burana, and thank you for coming in. I know today's subject is not as exciting but I just want to share with you guys about something that I personally experienced, and I think is not a safe place, so to speak. So you just have to be careful about everything that you post, you said, and just have your eyes open, ears open. Just listen to other people. If they do report something to you, you better go and check it out to see whether they have used your work for any inappropriate application. That's what I'm trying to say. So Brad has something here, and the moment it's on the web, it's gone. I think so. No matter how much small prints a website tells you, photo using it will maintain all the copyright, blah blah blah. Yeah, you have the copyright for sure, but then it still doesn't stop people using your work, and then they claim it to be theirs in somewhere else that you just don't know where they exist. It's gonna be really, really difficult. Good morning, Mo. Days off. Oh, you got a day off today. And yeah, that is true. But as an amateur, you have a choice to show the world or keep it to yourself. And I believe so. Well, even professionally, that's why I don't want to post too much out in the world. And there are so many platforms out there now. I'm not going for every single one of them. I'm only concentrating on Facebook and my YouTube, and also on Instagram and like Twitter. I have an account, but I rarely even touch it. And so I'm not posting everything out. That will limit my exposure a little bit. I know that, I understand that, but and also I'll just selectively post whatever I want to post, usually the one that is more famous. Like I mentioned, the thief tends to steal the less famous photos just because they worry that it's easily recognizable, so they can't reuse them because people will just see it and recognize it straight away and report it back to the authority. And so a lot in my case, I just post something that is kind of like my second choice a lot of the time. If I want to post something that I would like to show you guys as a masterpiece, I would try to do it on YouTube as a video term, because I know it's harder on video, and I know people can still do screen grab, but then it's just harder in that case. Okay, and Mo, you are back, and there's, oh, hi, Ijas, say hello. Great stuff. And awesome. The weather is good. this week, you know, and tomorrow apparently we're going to have a very hot day. So and this weekend we may actually even do a barbecue. You never know. This is something I'm looking forward to. You know, I'm looking forward to a good barbecue for a long time. Even though we can't really have friends and family over, but at least you can still get out and enjoy the sun for a little bit. I have a lot of work to do actually, and this week I'm trying to film a few videos. I'm going to continue editing them, working on them for the next 2 to 3 weeks. So actually, there's one update I want to give you guys about this live stream on Facebook. I may make it to a 3 stream a week instead of 5 stream a week for the next couple of weeks, because I need to work on something urgently, and because a lot of work start piling up that I need to do for a lot of my YouTube collaborators. For instance, a lot of company has sent me stuff ready, and they really want to launch those videos because that's their product launch and other things that the marketing thing decides to do. There's something that's out of my control, so I would like to do them because you know, I'm having fun doing them, but you know, just I did tell them that I can't go out do something that I normally do, but I will still be able to do maybe something at home, and we'll see what happens. But yep, okay, that is pretty cool. And let's see what Brad is saying here. And perhaps having a photo stolen is a form of flattery. In a way, I guess so. And you know, people will think that your photos are good, right? If you try using Google image search, and that might review some matches, and however doing the search probably give quite possibly. I never really use any searches, and you know, like I said, I rather than having the energy, using the energy to search any of my stolen photos around the world, I rather use that to create something brand new, and that's my. I'm just moving forward. I'm not looking backward. And if people do recognize my photo, if they do contact me, and then I will have a go at it, you know, and maybe talk to them or something. But if not, yeah, I just pretend they're not there. I think that's the best way, you know. Just otherwise you're gonna scratch your head too much, and eventually you're gonna go crazy, right? You know, like I said, rather than using energy to searching for them, use the energy to create something new. You know, improve yourself, move forward, do more work, and then create more better photos for other people to enjoy. You know, even yourself, you know, got to be feeling better than rather than keep looking backward and things like that. And yeah, that's cool. Let's see what else is here. And right, I don't have anything to share with you guys today, but I did want to say to you, I'm going to update tomorrow. It's Wednesday again, so this is our photography 101 live tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be cool because we're going to talk about Olympus gear and their features. So I know last week we talked about the cameras and development. We know what sort of things that Olympus should develop in the future. Now tomorrow I'm going to talk about more specific about software side, about features. I know a lot of you guys already send me comments on my Facebook community page, so I've got a whole bunch of comments that I need to read through, and so that will be quite an interesting yeah, quite an interesting topic. So I'm hoping you guys can join me tomorrow at 3 p.m. and London time, of course. So that will be pretty cool, and I will be able to talk about anything Olympus feature-wise, software development. I think that'll be quite cool because there are a lot of things I would like to Olympus to see developing in the future for their future cameras. Even like doing as a firmware update for the current cameras, that would be really cool. And also I will be demonstrating my wireless transmitter once again, and then because I'm going to do a couple of dedicated stream and videos about the wireless transmitter. That's also one of my collaborators, so I will be doing that, so stay tuned for those. And because it's actually a very cool device, and I think it's really awesome. I actually have them right here. I think some of you who tuned in yesterday have seen these already, and they are really awesome stuff, and I can't wait to show you guys once again tomorrow. And so I'll be showing these how this works. Will be really cool. Anyway, and oh, Mo does have a comment here. So yeah, I tell you, the comment does pop up really slowly on my screen. Does posting mini size photo help at all? Yes, it would help, because you can post at really low resolution, so it's no point submitting or uploading online with any high resolution photos. The high resolution, and I know a lot of websites will still compress them anyway, like Facebook is one big example. They will compress your photo to really small size, but anything that they can enlarge is a danger, you know. Okay, they can reuse it for print, and but things like what I just showed you, you know, this photo here, the stamp photo, and let me just go back to my screenshot here. So the stamp photo here, and you can see this photo potentially be very big, but even if you like submit it as a thumbnail size, and they can still reproduce something really small. Like this is a stamp, so like they don't need a high resolution file for stamps, and that's exactly, you know, like it will help. So they can't reproduce a large print, but they can still make it really small if they really want to. So give or take, you know, like you decide whether it's big or not. Smaller size does restrict people in printing big, for instance, but it doesn't stop them from reproducing your work and do something else altogether. They could even use it as portion of the montage if they really want to. They can crop it out and do something that you may even recognize afterward. Yeah, that's what I want to say. It can be a danger, you know, in this online world these days. There's no protection whatsoever. Once you, like what Brad said, once you upload it to the great internet, you know, your image is basically gone. You know, like you have you have copyright. You can still sue people, but like you will be very difficult to track down who stole your photo, who used them for what or whatever. Okay, so anyway, and I think that my kids are getting loud. I think I will stop my stream here now, and I'm going to go back to work and edit a lot of my other videos, and hopefully stay tuned for my Sunday episode. That will be really fun, because I showed you guys yesterday about a stop motion. Actually, who would like to see that stop motion thing again? I want to show it to you guys once again, and you guys are going to get bored by the end of it, and let me just see if I can get it out once again. So, you know, this is so just show you one more time, you know, this is something that I made with the kids on last weekend. So this will be made into a proper videos. I'm going to talk about how we make that, because kids will like their mode. You know, I think kids will love to doing this sort of thing. It's really fun. It's very simple to do. It's actually very, very cool. You can create your own story. You can create your own narrative, your story, and you can make all this stuff in a matter of, you know, hour or two if you make it really quick. Depends on how quickly your kid can build something like this, but it's a fun family day that you can do something quite exciting, and you can still both sit down and enjoy at the end of it. So I personally think it's a really awesome thing to do. Yeah, please all try and stay tuned for my Sunday video, because this is all gonna go about the stop motions that I just created with the kids on Sunday, and last Sunday. So you're coming up this Sunday in my YouTube channel. That would be cool. You like the muffin? Brett? I love the muffin too. We actually finished them, and it's really, really cool. I love the muffins. Excellent. Excellent stuff. All right, have a great day. Okay, cool. Right, I'm going to say goodbye here and stop here. I know that it's already half an hour, and so I'm going to try to keep these as short as possible. I know a lot of you guys have a lot of things to do, but I would like to keep this live stream going and just maintaining some sort of communication with you guys. They're really good, especially during this time. It's quite good to have friends talking similar thing. Come here. You want to say hello? No? My daughter's right here. And yeah, she's responsible, by the way, she's responsible for that story. And so you have to stay tuned for that story this Sunday. That's really cool. She will read her story together with the stop motion pictures there. That'll be really fun. Okay, guys, I will see you guys tomorrow again. And remember, tomorrow I will have a live stream on my YouTube channel, talk about Olympus features in the afternoon, 3 to 3:45, maybe 4 o'clock p.m. GMT. We're going to have a lot of discussions there, a lot of fun once again. So hopefully you guys will join in and also have some fun discussing everything Olympus again. Tomorrow morning, of course, I have my usual live stream like today. Tomorrow I'll have another subject, so stay tuned on my page right here. I'm going to announce what we're going to talk about tomorrow. So until next time, I will speak to you guys soon. Bye for now.